calling on both parties to work together on major issues. But after a year of partisan attacks, did last night's speech help? Joining us now is Democratic Congresswoman Jackie Speier of California. She's a member of the House Intelligence Committee. Great to have you here in studio. Thanks for being with us. What did you hear last night?
So I heard him give a teleprompter speech, and he didn't deviate much from it. So, you know, he came off quasi-presidential, which is the new normal, I guess. If we get one good speech, and then if he resists the tweets this morning, maybe we'll get through a day where there's not going to be lashing out.
But beyond style, what did you hear in terms of the substance? I mean, the White House said that he was trying to be bipartisan, and that message, this is your time. If you're American, you can live, you know, you can do anything you dream of. I mean, those are messages, obviously, that resonate on both sides of the aisle. Did you think it achieved any bipartisanship?
I think that many of us felt that he would throw out one-liners, and then the heart of it, keeping Gitmo open, for instance, it's costing $13 million a year per person. There's only 41 people left there. And he throws out the red meat to the Republicans and then says a couple of nice lines to the Democrats. His immigration comments were very divisive, because when you say chain migration instead of family reunification, you're not trying to come up with a compromise.
So is unity impossible?
It's not impossible, but compromise is possible, but you don't say this is compromised. Here, I've given you something that is compromise. You sit down and you negotiate. He wants to bring in 1.8 million dreamers, not just the 800,000, but then he wants to, you know, impose all of these restrictions and a $25 billion wall.
So what's going to happen with immigration? I mean, since he's laid out his best case or argument, and as you know, we're facing another deadline for a government shutdown next week. So where are you?
I think that we are nowhere. Unless he just does a clean CR with a clean DACA fix for those 800,000, I think we will be teetering on another shutdown, which is horrible.
What?
And then what? Exactly. He has got to realize that negotiations means two people sit down at the table, everybody loses something and everybody wins something.
Is there a feeling among Democrats that the last shutdown didn't work out? That was a gambit that didn't work for Democrats. And so by Monday, everybody had sort of come to their senses. And so another government shutdown, is there a different strategy?
Nobody wants a shutdown. I mean, it costs us money to have a shutdown every day. And so what we need to do is be responsible adults and realize we're not going to get everything we want, but find a pathway forward.
I want to show this picture that you tweeted out. You chose to wear black yesterday. This was a show of solidarity, and you tweeted all of your colleagues and you wearing black, and this was for the Me Too movement. This was sort of the visible representation of that. So where is the Me Too movement now in Congress and beyond? You
know, that's the good news story in all of this. This is a bipartisan bill, and it is a very strong bill. And it will be up next week in committee and probably on the House floor next week.
And what will it do?
It will absolutely transform how victims are treated in Congress. They will immediately have legal counsel. There will not be mandatory mediation. They will be able to go directly to court if they want to. And the harasser, if it's a member, is going to be identified and forced to repay the federal government the settlement amount.
That will change a lot of things. I mean, everything that we've learned in the past months about how it's set up now, where it's the victim who has to go to therapy and has a cooling off period. I mean, so obviously you're changing all of that. Very quickly, I want to ask you about this Republican memo, the Devin Nunes crafted memo. Last night there was an open mic moment where the president was caught telling one of his Republican colleagues, oh, 100%. I'm going to release it. Watch this.
Let's release the memo. Oh, yeah. Oh, don't worry. 100%. Can you imagine that?
100%. He says, don't worry. Are you worried about that memo being public?
That memo is filled with classified information. It is a road we should not travel down.
You've read it.
I have read it. And, you know, what the Republicans did in committee was astonishing. And once the transcript of that open hearing is forthcoming, you're going to find out that the chairman of the committee would not answer the question by my colleague, Mr. Quigley, when he asked, were you in consultation with the White House? He would not answer that question. When he was asked, when Mr. Wray, the FBI director, looked at this memo, did he have any areas that he wanted to have deleted or redacted? He would not answer that question. So clearly, they are moving ahead full speed. They want to spin this, and then they wouldn't let the Democratic response.
Right, they voted not to release that one. But you're saying this morning that there is dangerous classified information and that it should not be released.
Absolutely.
And why are the Republicans going to release it?
Because the president wants to pursue this idea that somehow the dossier was related, that the dossier is representative of why this whole investigation began. And it was not.
Congresswoman Jackie Speier.